This is Mrs. Gray leading you through some Year 3 addition, and we are going to use column addition as our formal written method today. First thing is that in Key Stage 1 the children have had lots of practical practice and have used base tens to give them a good idea of where the tens and the units come from. So that's going to help them when they come to set this out. So we're going to start with a calculation that is a 2-digit number add a 1-digit number and show you how to set that out. So let's begin with 27 plus 4. To write out in columns, what you need to do is have each digit lined up beneath each other that are worth the same value. So the children at this stage, I would expect them to write above and see what that is worth. So this 4 is in the units column or the ones column, as is the 7 from 27. That is a unit or a 1, as they now refer to them as, and the 2 here is worth 20 in the number 27. That is a 10, and I'll just write that out again here, 10 and unit, so when I come to jot this down I get it in the right place. So 27, the 2 goes under the T for 10, the 7 goes beneath the units. Now I'm going to add on the unit, and because I've already wrote that above, I know that it has to go here and not here, because we're going to get a very different answer if we put that in the wrong place, which you'll see in a moment. So I've got 7 ones, I'm going to add another 4 onto them, so 7 units, add 4 units, that's 11. So I put the 1 down, which is worth 1 unit, and I need to carry over the 10, so now I've got 20 plus a 10, which equals 30. Now if we hadn't called our columns out like we've done here and we just jotted it down, a lot of children automatically write like this, and you will see that you get a very different answer, because here if you add 2 and 4 together you're going to get 6, and then 7 add nothing. So you can see there's a big discrepancy in those answers, because children need to remember to start from the smallest unit, the smallest denomination that you're adding together. So that means we start from the right hand side in maths and work towards the left, which goes against what we do in English, because of course we read from left to right. It gets simpler as you move on to 2-digit add 2-digit, because then you have got 2 numbers and it's easy to see how they're going to be set out. And again, if they prefer at this early stage of first learning about setting it out in columns, I encourage the children to call them the tens and units if they want to, but you find as their confidence grows they don't really want to do that anymore. So here I've got 8, and I'm going to add on another 7. That's a near double, so I would think to myself double 7 would be 14, and then I've got an extra 1 there because that's an 8, so actually my answer is 15. So 5 goes down, I carry 1 into the next column to make it a 10, and then I've got 4 plus 3, add on another 1, and I will get 8. So that one is a lot nicer because you've got your 2 numbers and you can see where each one should go. So we'll try a one with some hundreds now. 100 adding on to a number that goes up to tens. So once again, let's get those column titles put on them, just to help out those children who perhaps aren't feeling so confident. So 251 I'm going to put on the top, and now I'm going to line it up and have a look and say, right, beneath my 1 I need the 4, and beneath my 5 I'm going to need to put the 6. And we start the addition again from the smallest denomination, which is the units. So we have 4 plus 1, which is 5. 6 plus 5, again, that's a near double. If I take the littlest of the numbers to say double 5 would be 10, and then that's one more than that, so that means it's 11. Carry over, and then we've got 2 plus 1 in the hundreds column, which makes that worth 315. And if we were again to have lined that up incorrectly and started at a different side, then we would go 2 plus 6, which is 8, 5 add 4 is 9, and then a 1, and you can see the big difference. So we've got to remember we need to begin at the right hand side with the smallest columns and then move progressively across to the left. Another change in Key Stage 2 is that the children need to broaden their vocabulary a little more. So all of these words mean that they need to carry out an addition question, and in order to help them do that, the children need to do some mental arithmetic questions, and they are expected to be able to add hundreds to other hundreds in their heads. And you can use a range of strategies for that, such as some that I told you about whilst we were doing our column addition, thinking about near doubles, knowing your number bonds to 10, and therefore if you know your number bonds to 10, you will know your number bonds to 100. And also these different pieces of vocabulary help the children greatly when they are presented with word problems. And word problems are when it is put in a sentence for the children to pick out the number and what they need to do with it. So they can use these words interchangeably, and the children have to realise what number sentence they need to make, what calculation they need to make in order to solve that problem.